Welcome back to the Jack and Emma English podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack.
And, well, if you are joining us today, whether you're sitting on the bus, walking the dog, or, just taking a well-deserved break at home, we are so incredibly grateful that you chose to spend your time with us.
We really are. You guys make this community so special. And today, today we need to talk about something that is probably causing a lot of you a huge amount of pain and frustration.
Yes, we do. Today, we are tackling the ultimate goal, the word that every single language learner is obsessed with: fluency.
Fluency. Just hearing that word makes my chest feel a little bit tight because, it feels like this impossible mountain, right? You study for years, you take the tests, you buy the expensive apps, but then you actually stand in front of a native speaker and
what happens, Jack?
And your brain completely shuts down. You start stuttering, you use a million filler words, and not the good kind. You say, the thing is, and you just freeze. And you walk away thinking, why am I so stupid? I know the English language. Why couldn't I just speak fluently?
Oh, Jack. And to everyone listening right now who has ever felt that exact same shame, I need you to hear me loud and clear. You are not stupid. Your brain is not broken.
It isn't? Because it definitely feels broken when I'm staring at a barista trying to remember the word for napkin.
I promise it isn't broken. The reason you freeze is actually because of a massive lie that the language learning industry has been feeding you for years.
A lie? Okay, you have my full attention. What is the lie?
The lie is that fluency equals vocabulary. We are taught that if you want to be fluent, you just need to memorize 10,000 words. You need to sound like a walking dictionary. But the truth? Memorizing more words is actually exactly what is causing you to stutter.
Wait, hold on. Memorizing words makes you stutter? Emma, that goes against literally everything my high school English teacher ever taught me.
I know. It's called the vocabulary hoarding trap. Think about it like this. Imagine your brain is a computer.
Okay, beep boop, I am a computer.
Right. So you have a hard drive and you have the desktop screen. When you use flashcards and memorize lists of fancy words like meticulous, ubiquitous, or extravagant, you are storing those words deep inside your hard drive. That is your passive vocabulary.
Okay, that makes sense. I can read them in a book and understand them, but they are buried deep in the files.
Exactly. Now, your desktop screen is your active vocabulary. These are the words you can click on instantly. Words like good, bad, happy, go, make, do. The problem is, when you are talking to a native speaker, your brain panics. It says, "Oh no, I have to sound smart. I have to find that fancy word."
Yes, I do this all the time. I am telling a story and I want to say the movie was good. But then my brain says, no, Jack, good is too basic. Find a bigger word. Find a college-level word.
And what happens while your brain is desperately searching the hard drive for that fancy word?
I freeze. I stand there in complete silence for 5 seconds, looking like an idiot, until I finally just give up and say, the movie was good.
Exactly. You sacrificed your fluency for complexity. Jack, fluency is not about the complexity of the words you use. Fluency is purely about the speed of access.
Speed of access. Wow. So you are saying that a person who only knows 1,000 words but can access them instantly is actually more fluent than a person who knows 10,000 words but has to think about them?
100%. Studies show that native English speakers actually only use about 2,000 to 3,000 core words in their daily conversations. They aren't walking around using Shakespearean vocabulary at the grocery store. They just use simple words, incredibly fast, and link them together beautifully.
Okay, I am feeling a massive sense of relief right now. You are telling me I don't need to learn 1,000 new words this month. I just need to get faster with the words I already have on my desktop.
Yes, you need to clean off your desktop. Stop trying to sound like a university professor and start giving yourself permission to sound simple.
I love that. Give yourself permission to sound simple. But, Emma, how do we actually do that? If we aren't supposed to memorize single vocabulary words on flashcards, how do we train our brains to access words faster? How do we build that speed?
That is the million-dollar question. And the answer is a technique that completely changed how I learn languages. It's a concept called chunking, and it relies on something called collocations.
Chunking. Collocations. Okay, those sound like heavy grammar terms, but I know you are going to make them fun.
I promise, no boring grammar. When we come back from this short break, I am going to show you exactly how to stop learning single words and start learning chunks. It is the ultimate shortcut to sounding smooth, natural, and completely fluent.
Oh, you guys do not want to miss this technique. Plus, later on, we have a secret strategy for what to do when you do forget a word mid-sentence so you never freeze again. Stick around. All right, welcome back, everyone. So right before the break, Emma told us to stop learning single vocabulary words, which honestly feels illegal to say on an English podcast.
It feels a little rebellious, I know, but it is the truth. If you want speed, you have to stop studying single words and start learning chunks.
Chunks. Okay, like a chunk of chocolate?
Exactly like a chunk of chocolate. A chunk is just a group of words that naturally live together. In linguistics, we call these collocations or lexical chunks.
Okay, break that down for us. What does it actually look like in real life?
Think about building a house out of Lego blocks. If you only memorize single words, you are building a massive house using only the tiny, single, one-by-one Lego blocks.
Oh man, that would take forever. You'd be sitting there snapping 1,000 tiny pieces together just to build one wall.
Exactly. And that is exactly what your brain is doing when you try to speak English word by word. You think of the subject, then you search for the verb, then you try to remember the preposition. And by the time you build the sentence, the conversation has moved on. You are speaking in slow motion.
Wow, yes, that is exactly how it feels. It feels exhausting.
But what if, instead of tiny blocks, you bought pre-built Lego walls? You just take a huge piece, snap it into place, and boom, you are building 10 times faster.
Oh, I see where you are going with this. The chunks are the pre-built walls.
Yes, native speakers do not think about individual words. We think in chunks. For example, we don't think of the word make and the word decision. We memorize the entire chunk. Make a decision.
Right, because if you translate it word by word from another language, you might accidentally say, do a decision, which sounds unnatural.
Exactly. Or think about the weather. We say, heavy rain. We don't say, strong rain or big rain. The words heavy and rain are permanently glued together in our brains. That is a chunk.
This is so brilliant, Emma. Because if I memorize the chunk, by the way, I don't have to think about the grammar. I don't have to wonder, wait, is it in the way or at the way? I just use the whole block.
Exactly. You completely bypass the grammar. You just memorize the music of the phrase. So, to our listeners, your new study habit is to throw away your single-word flashcards. When you watch a movie or read an article, look for the chunks. Write down the whole phrase.
Okay, I love this. Learn in chunks. But, Emma, I have to be honest. Even if I learn chunks, there are still going to be moments where my brain just completely blanks.
Of course. It happens to native speakers too.
Right, like the other day, I was at a restaurant in another country. I spilled coffee on the table, and I panicked because I completely forgot the word for napkin.
Oh no, the classic brain freeze. What did you do?
Well, I did what every language learner does. I just froze. I pointed at the table, my face got red, and I think I just mumbled, water, bad, please help.
Water bad. Please help. Oh, Jack.
I know, it was awful. I totally lost my fluency because I was obsessed with finding that one specific word.
And that is the second biggest trap of fluency, the perfect word paralysis. But Jack, polyglots, people who speak 5 or 6 languages perfectly, they have a secret superpower for exactly this situation.
Okay, give me the superpower. Save me from the spilled coffee.
It is a technique called circumlocution.
Circumlocution. Okay, that sounds like a magic spell from Harry Potter.
It kind of is. Circumlocution literally means talking around a word. It means that when you forget a word, you do not freeze. You do not stop the sentence. You just describe the word using the simple English you do know.
Describe it? Like playing a guessing game?
Exactly like playing the game Taboo or Catchphrase. If you forget the word napkin, you do not need the word napkin to be fluent. You just say, "Could you give me the small paper for wiping my mouth?"
Oh, wow. The small paper for wiping my mouth. The waiter would understand that immediately.
100%. If you forget the word wallet, you don't panic. You say, "I lost the leather thing that holds my money."
If I forget the word mechanic, I just say, "The doctor for my car."
Yes, the doctor for my car is brilliant. Jack, do you see what just happened? You kept the conversation moving. You kept your speed. That is true fluency. Fluency is not knowing every word in the dictionary. Fluency is the ability to easily explain yourself when you don't know a word.
That completely changes the game. It takes all the pressure off. Because I don't have to be perfect anymore. I just have to be creative.
You just have to be creative. If you combine chunking with circumlocution, you will never, ever freeze in a conversation again. You will sound smooth, confident, and incredibly natural.
Wow. Honestly, if our listeners only take those 2 things away from this episode, their English is going to improve overnight.
I truly believe it will. But of course, we couldn't wrap up this amazing episode without taking a closer look at the actual vocabulary we used today.
Yes, it is time for our famous Calm Word Tour. We are going to break down some of the high-level phrases from today's chat, like brain freeze, obsessed with, and bypassing the grammar.
And stay tuned, because right after the word tour, we have a massive, interactive challenge for the comments section that you are not going to want to miss. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Go ahead and take a nice, deep breath.
We have safely arrived at the Calm Word Tour. You know, Emma, I am still laughing about my water bad coffee spill story.
It is a very relatable story, Jack. We have all been there. But now, it is time to slow everything down, step away from the fast conversation, and look closely at the English language.
Yes, we used some really natural, native-level phrases today. These are fantastic words to use when you are, talking about your feelings or your learning journey.
Let's start with a phrase Jack used to describe that exact coffee shop panic. Brain freeze.
Brain freeze. This is a noun phrase. Now, literally, it means the headache you get when you eat ice cream too fast. But in casual conversation, it means the moment when your mind goes completely blank and you cannot remember something simple.
Yes, it's what happens when you try to find that perfect, fancy vocabulary word. For example, you could say, I was going to introduce her to my boss, but I had a total brain freeze and forgot her name.
Or, don't worry if you get a brain freeze during the presentation. Just take a deep breath. Repeat after me. Brain freeze.
Brain freeze. Okay, our next phrase is a great one. Obsessed with.
Obsessed with. This is an adjective phrase. It means to constantly think about something, to the point where you cannot focus on anything else. Earlier, I said I lost my fluency because I was obsessed with finding one specific word.
Exactly. It can be a negative thing, but we also use it positively to talk about things we really love. For example, you could say, lately, I am completely obsessed with this new podcast.
Or, he is obsessed with learning English grammar. Repeat after me. Obsessed with.
Obsessed with. And our final word for today is a powerful verb. Bypass.
Bypass. To bypass something means to go past it or to avoid an obstacle or a complicated system.
Yes. I mentioned that when you learn English in chunks instead of single words, you completely bypass the grammar rules. You take a shortcut.
Right. For example, we use the small country roads to bypass the heavy city traffic.
Or, the hackers tried to bypass the security system. Repeat after me. Bypass.
Bypass.
And that brings us to the end of our word tour. Notice how learning those phrases as whole chunks is so much easier than memorizing individual words.
It really is. And, well, speaking of practicing our new superpowers, it is time for our listener homework. And today, we have a really fun challenge for you guys.
We do. This is going to be amazing. We want to test your circumlocution skills. We are turning the comments section into a giant guessing game.
Here is your mission. Scroll down to the comments right now. We want you to choose a common, everyday object, but you are not allowed to use the word for it. You have to describe it using simple English, just like my doctor for my car example.
Yes, and then we want you to reply to other people's comments and try to guess what object they are describing.
Exactly. Maybe you describe an umbrella as the portable roof for the rain, or a library as the quiet house with free books. Get creative. Show us that you don't need a massive vocabulary to communicate perfectly.
We are going to be in the comments, reading all of them and guessing right along with you. It is going to be so much fun.
And as we wrap up today's episode, we just want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you.
I want you to look at your English journey, and I want you to forgive yourself for all the times you stuttered, or froze, or felt silly.
You were playing the game on hard mode. You were trying to build a house with single, tiny blocks. But you don't have to do that anymore.
Give yourself permission to use simple words. Give yourself permission to talk around a problem. Fluency is not about impressing people with college-level vocabulary. Fluency is just the beautiful, messy ability to connect with another human being.
You have the tools now. Throw away the flashcards, look for the chunks, and embrace the simple words.
Thank you so incredibly much for spending your time with us today. If this episode completely changed the way you look at English, please hit that like button, share it with a friend who is feeling stuck, and subscribe so we can keep learning together.
Keep chunking, keep talking, and keep being brave. We will see you all next time.
Take care of your English, and take care of yourselves. Bye, everyone.
Bye!